What's up, guys, and welcome to Behind the Lens, the vlog series created to provide insight into the world of photography. My name is Lennz. I'm a Houston-based freelance photographer specializing in wedding and fashion photography. Now, in this video, I'm going to discuss what you need to know about wedding photography before you begin the process of both searching for and booking your wedding photographer. So if you are a soon-to-be bride or know someone who is about to get married and need a photographer, pay close attention to this video because it's right up your alley. First and foremost, you need to understand that wedding photography is going to come in at a higher price point than many other genres of photography. The reason for this is very simple. A wedding photographer has to be skilled in various areas in order to effectively photograph your wedding. For instance, a wedding photographer has to understand the flow of a wedding day, from getting ready until the end of the reception. They may also have to be familiar with certain customs and traditions depending on the type of wedding they are photographing. Secondly, your wedding photographer is going to spend a lot of time with you on your wedding day. Therefore, they must be able to provide you with instruction and give the proper guidance in order to get different shots. For instance, family photos, they have to be able to set people up. They have to be able to move and motivate groups of people at a time and not have an issue with it. They can't be standoffish. They can't be rude. They have to be experienced, polite, and professional. Now let's move on to being prepared. Your wedding photographer must be prepared not only with the experience, but the proper equipment to photograph your wedding in different lighting conditions. Example, you are getting married in a Catholic church. For the most part, Catholic churches do not allow flash photography during the ceremony. Therefore, your photographer must be experienced in shooting natural light under these conditions. Secondly, your reception. Now, your reception will most likely take place with the lights dimmed. The photographer must have the proper lighting equipment and know how to use it to effectively shoot your wedding reception. Now, with that being said, I want to let this cat out of the bag and not too many people think about this. Wedding photography is one of the few genres of photography where you get one opportunity to get the shot right. Example, you get one opportunity to photograph that bride walking down the aisle, one opportunity to photograph that first kiss, one opportunity to get that ring exchange, so on and so forth. So you want to make sure whoever you hire is experienced so that these special emotional moments are captured correctly and are not missed. If you decide to take a shortcut and hire someone who is not experienced because they're cheaper, I guarantee you will be disappointed with the results when it comes to the key moments of your wedding day. Next on our list of things that you need to understand about wedding photography are the packages themselves. First off, understand that no two photographers will have the same package. One photographer may offer prints, one may not. One may offer a website, one may not. Now, just because one photographer's package has more bells and whistles than the other doesn't necessarily mean that they're a better photographer. It just means they are giving you options. Now, with that being said, understand this. You could always get some of the options after the fact. You really need to focus on the quality of the work. Think of it like this. You want to buy a quality car, so you go shopping for, let's say, a Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz has outstanding quality. Now, you could get that Mercedes-Benz fully loaded if you could afford the Mercedes-Benz fully loaded. Or you could get the base model, still come out with quality, and add some of the features after the fact. That's how you have to think about your wedding photography. Quality is of the highest importance. Now, if you can afford the extra bells and whistles in the package, hey, go for it. If you can't, at least try to budget enough money to pay for the quality. Remember, you're paying for both quality and experience. Never take a shortcut on this. You could fall victim to what we call a shoot and burn, where somebody says, hey, I'll do it for $500 less. Of course they will. They show up, they shoot the wedding, they give you a CD. Your pictures are not edited, you have no options whatsoever, and you're stuck. Guaranteed that you're going to be unhappy, okay? Think of it like this too. Your wedding photography needs to be of the highest importance. You've invested and spent a lot of money on a wedding dress, your decor, your venue. Your guests are driving in from across town, from out of town. In some instances, maybe flying in from another state, maybe flying in from another part of the world. So you've got all of this combined, not to mention your wedding party, the bridesmaids' dresses. Maybe they paid for the rentals. Maybe they bought the gowns. Your groomsmen, same thing with the tux. So you have to take all of this into account and ask yourself, is it worth going cheap on my photography? Because with all of these things combined, this is one of the biggest days in your life, and you want to relive it again and again through your photographs. Shouldn't you have quality photographs? Don't you want good photographs of everything that you spent money on all of the family members you haven't seen? So this needs to be of the highest priority. Your photography should be of the highest priority because your photos are priceless. They're timeless. So think about it in that respect, and everything else should fall into place. Okay, now that we've talked about the packages, let's talk about your deposit. Yes, deposit. In order to book a wedding date, you're going to have to pay a deposit. Now, all wedding photographers charge a deposit. They do this for several reasons. One, it ensures them that you are going to sign with them for the most part, and it also ensures the fact that they will be available to you on your wedding date for the specific times laid out in your contract. Now understand, no deposit, in most cases, no wedding. Understand that. In order to secure your wedding date, you're going to have to pay a deposit. Now the thing about deposits is this. Every photographer handles their deposit differently on how you pay it as well as the amount. Beware, most wedding photographer deposits are not refundable. Let me say that again. Most wedding deposits are not refundable. Should you A, cancel your wedding, B, want to back out of that contract, your deposit most likely will be non-refundable. Now, some photographers will refund a portion of it, some will not. Understand, that deposit secures the date and the times that are laid out in the contract, and the photographer does not accept anyone else on that date. So people will call in and say, hey, I need such and such date. The photographer can't accept that work because they are obligated to shooting your wedding. That is why the deposit is A, required, and B, non-refundable. Understand this before you sign anything. Understand this before you pay your deposit. This is very, very, very important. Now, if you pay your deposit, you definitely want to go ahead and follow through. Okay, guys, now last on our list, we're going to discuss the fact that when you hire a photographer, you are also hiring an artist with a certain style of producing images. So you definitely want to make sure that you are happy with their style. Never hire a photographer because they're cheaper and you don't like their style, hoping that it will change. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. Make sure you're comfortable with the style of photography that this photographer shoots. I would highly recommend that you do some kind of pre-wedding shoot with them, be it a bridal session or an engagement session, to get a pretty good idea of how that photographer is going to first capture your likeness and secondly work with you. This will give you guys an opportunity to develop a rapport and bond with each other. So on your wedding day, He's coming in, you know what to expect from him, and vice versa. It makes things go a heck of a lot easier. And I will say this, some photographers in their package will offer this option. I highly advise you to take advantage of it for those purposes. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Let me start by saying I am not making any excuses for anyone. Photographers are not perfect. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, there have been instances where we were not able to live up to customer expectations. With that being said, when you are reading a review that someone gave a photographer, read it with an open mind. Understand, photographers are human. They do make mistakes. However, if you see the same negative comments, there's a pattern there. You definitely want to avoid doing business with that photographer if it is the same complaint time and time and time again. However, on the flip side, if it's the same positive note time and time and time again, then that's a great thing. But you want to avoid complaints about not receiving the product, not receiving the pictures at all. Anybody saying that they're taking them to court, numerous people are suing this person. Avoid it like the plague. I guarantee you that's a problem waiting to happen. So now you've got information about wedding photography. You can go out now and book your photographer and know what to expect. Expect that it is not going to be cheap, but understand that you don't necessarily have to break the bank to get good experience photography, and you should definitely go ahead and make it an investment. Thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate your support, and if you guys should have any questions, please feel free to contact me at www.thelennz.com or email me at thelennz, THELENNZ@msn.com, and I will gladly answer any questions you may have. Thanks a million for watching. Congratulations on your big day, and I'm out.